Beautiful humans, it is the Sassy Chats. I'm Bethany, aka the Sassy2 on the old Instagram. If you're new here, then honey, buckle up because you're in for a ride. We don't do small talk, we dive in deep, and we talk about those conversations that tend to only be whispered about behind closed doors, but not here, not today, because today's episode is about my hairy ass. Body hair truths. And this one is a conversation that might make you feel uncomfortable. It might make you think, but it will definitely make you feel less alone in this messy, magical world that we live in. So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, because we're in for a ride. Her hairy ass. And how it made me feel less alone. This past couple of months, I've been hiding, honeys. I've been scrolling through life, trying my best to feel good in my skin, when in fact, a heavy weight of dread has been filling my bones. It started with an onslaught of abuse I received from a bunch of teenage boys when walking down my local high street. First, they clocked me. Then they nudged their friends and pointed in my direction. And finally, the words started hurling their way through the air. Ew! Is that a beard? What the fuck, man? They're becoming American. Disgusting! Did you see that? What is that? I've become used to this rhetoric, and I've learnt to avoid the harassment by A, not walking down the street at 4 p.m. when all the kids get out of school, B, crossing the road so I can't hear their comments when the moments do come. But fuck me, every time it makes me want to run and hide. I thought there was a C there, but there's no C. When I shared my recent experiences with my neighbour, she asked whether teenage boys had bullied me at school. Boom! The penny dropped. Yes, they had. Of course they bloody had. Since the age of 12, I was picked on by my male peers, nicknamed Bear Fanny, and continually reminded that I was hairy. That was a lifetime ago, but the dread of their presence and persistent comments still stings. At a fine age of 33, I'm trying my hardest to change my own response, to pull my body language up, strengthen my spine, lift my chin and grow physically in size to remind myself I am confident. I do not give a shit what pubescent boys say or think. But sometimes my body crumbles and the tears fall from my eyes and I become a spluttering mess reminiscent of teenage Bethany. The knock-on effect of this recent encounter gave me a warped sense of self-worth. I took it out on the IG ads selling me hair removal products and procedures. I took it out on a kinky playmate and accused them of being ashamed of my appearance. I even started pulling out strands from my beard, plucking them one by one with my fingers and crying a little bit more each time I felt the painful pull against my skin. While in this mental knot of self-hate, an angel came in the form of an email from one of the biggest porn producers known for creating hairy content. She was asking me to come out to LA and shoot with her. I clicked on the link, taking me to a page filled with sexy, fluffy women all embracing their bodies, flashing their bushy fannies, showing off their hairline thighs, bellies, necks, arms, feet and faces. This time, the tears started to pour as I felt a sense of relief wash over me. I spent hours watching gorgeous videos and flicking through photo albums, letting myself admire the women in front of me. Any sense of disgust that teenage boys had pushed onto me vanished and was replaced by awe, wonder, and gratitude. Seeing someone who looks like ourselves, representation, it goes such a bloody long way. It can't be undervalued. It is an antidote to the millions of media messages that teach young teenagers and adults that there's only one way to be, and anything other is caused to point fingers and throw judgment, shame, and abuse. From size to skin color to sexuality to style, diversity of appearance is the most honest reflection of the world around us, yet we don't see it in the films or the ads. And when we do, it still conforms to some constructed standards. I can't walk into drugstores anymore because the branding upsets me so much. It's gendered, it's body shaming, and it's twisted under bright colours and glossy packaging to make you think you deserve to have a product in your life that will change your whole appearance. We have to hack our minds, honeys. We have to take it back to basics and ask why. Why is it so, in quotation marks, disgusting that a woman has hair on her face? Why is it so, again in quotation marks, undesirable to have a shapely stomach and gorgeous big thighs and a full chin rather than a chiseled jawline? Why do we let colorism persist when we all know every single skin colour is a beautiful and natural shade of life? If you're already feeling deflated, frustrated or fed up with these Western ideas of beauty, then firstly remember, don't beat yourself up. And secondly, have a good old bitch about it to a friend. It helps, I promise. And thirdly, see what you can do to change this conversation, to let more teenagers know they too can be confident exactly as they are, so that the next wave of adolescents might grow up with a little less body dysmorphia and shame. I'm going to leave you there this week, this day, honeys. If this resonated with you, if you felt seen, if you felt called out, all those teenage boys out there, if you're listening, if you felt less alone, then you need to check my newsletter, because what you just heard is just a snippet of something that I share every single week. Every week on Substack, I go out and I deliver a raw, unfiltered story with visuals that bring these experiences to life. Self-portraits, often quite nude, intimate moments, the full vulnerability that you can't get anywhere else, because I can't share it anywhere else, and I don't want to share it anywhere else. I just want to share it for you, my Substack subscribers. The link is in the description, and trust me, you want to see the complete picture. And if you're loving these conversations, then subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify, and share with a friend who you know really could do with hearing this. Because the more we talk about this stuff, the less power shame has over us. Tomorrow, we're diving into my sex life part 2, porn and pleasure. And you're not going to want to miss it. So until then, stay sassy, my loves. Stay sassy.